The start to this new year is going spectacularly. How on earth do you say that word? I'm sorry, I should have chosen a different word. It's going fantastic, okay? I got sent the link to this channel. They told me, take a look at the video, okay? The second most recent video. When I took a look, it's my Roblox account got banned. This person got banned. Like 5,000 people have seen this video. Apparently, this is kind of serious for the fact that the ban reason is something we've never seen before, and also they got terminated, like account deleted. Long story short, if I tell you, like I go to my profile right now, I show you my badges. We all know what badges are on Roblox, I'm assuming. I'm hoping, unless you joined Roblox this morning, if so, welcome. If not, you know what badges are, or at least how they work. I don't know. I have one for 25 stages, 50 stages, welcome to the game. Basically, creators of games can add badges to their games and make it so that you earn these badges when you do certain things in the games. For example, a lot of games will have welcome badges, so the second you join the game for the first time ever, you will automatically receive that badge. It's really just that simple. Now apparently this person got banned for having some badges from a game. Like that was the entire ban reason. That was the moderator note that the person typed in when they were terminating this person, saying that the decision they made to ban them was because of the badges that was on their profile. Not badges they created, not badges that they added to their own game, but simply badges that they had earned from another game. If you're not catching what I'm saying, basically it's something completely out of their control. So here we have it. Let's take a look at this. This was account deleted. It was a couple of weeks ago. I think it was before Christmas. Yes, it was. But the moderator note is the main thing that I want you to focus on here, because this is saying your account has been moderated for creating or promoting an inappropriate badge section. This is a violation of our terms of use. So I think the key word here would be promoting, because they definitely didn't create any of this. So promoting an inappropriate badge section. They didn't create any of these badges. They didn't upload any of them. They're not even from a game that they created. So according to this entire video, basically what happened was this person was streaming, like live streaming. Someone came into their chat and was like, hey, can you try out my
Exercise? I thought you said extra fries.
Ha ha ha. This is so funny. Let's check the comments.
Anti-spiral. 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 Anti-spiral.
Anti-spiral plus skibidi toilet technique.
I just lost my job and my house burned down. Could you guys cheer me up in the comments, please?
Damn, that's so sad. Hopefully the comments can cheer him up.
Dewy Delectables, always delectably fresh.
Here we go again. Some more dress to impress drama. So get your popcorn ready, as after 3 months of not making a dress to impress rant, I will be ranting about this quote-unquote dress to impress copy, and seeing if this Roblox game really deserves a 59% rating and all the backlash. Please respect my opinion as you are 100% entitled to yours. Before we start, shout out to those who bought my Robux game passes and to those who made awesome fan art for me. Fashion Icons, a Roblox fashion game first released to the public on the 21st of December, 2024 by the Fashion Icon issue team, is in a heated drama with many players in the Dress to Impress community, for seemingly being a ripoff of Dress to Impress, despite the game having credited it in their description. And instead of getting their game to blow up like any other social media trending game, Fashion Icon only received 10 to a few hundred concurrent players and 10 times more hate, in which the team responded nonchalantly, using Dress to Impress related tags to earn the game more clout. But does Fashion Icon really deserve the hate? Let's find out ourselves. Firstly, both Dress to Impress and Fashion Icon have similar, not necessarily copied game functions, such as the color palettes, tan machines and custom makeup, VIP and run faster game passes. However, it is pretty obvious that they both need those assets, as they are both fashion games, one being inspired by the other. I'm also surprised how Fashion Icon managed to make winter-themed items, even though they released the game mid-December. Fashion Icon decided to add some unique perks, such as walking styles, group rewards and rank rewards, which I'm glad they did, because who knows how much hate they'd have received if they had nothing special other than being known as a Dress to Impress copy. But to be completely honest, Dress to Impress isn't an original idea either. There are also similar games such as Fashion Famous and Star Dolls that came before DTI. So I don't agree that Fashion Icon should get all this hate. However, I completely understand why players view Fashion Icon as a Dress to Impress ripoff. Because compared to other similar fashion games such as It Girl and Fashion Stars, Fashion Icon leans more to realistic body types, and the game seems to be much more heavily inspired by Dress to Impress than their counterparts. This game would have definitely gotten less hate if the team decided to make the game more original and creative, and it doesn't necessarily have to be a dress-up game. Additionally, conspiracy theory, but I think the game is made yes for people to play for fun but also to throw the Dress to Impress players off, making the game more popular. What are your thoughts on the game? Let me know in the comments below. And if you find this interesting, be sure to smash the like and subscribe button. And have a great day everyone.
I am under corporate surveillance. Big Brother Roblox is watching me for any sort of actionable defamation. They haven't found any yet, but they're looking very hard. Such behavior would be horrifying to the average person, but to me, I see it as an opportunity. On Roblox, there are many hundreds of thousands of inappropriate assets. To combat this, I have created a completely grassroots reporting system called Moderation for Dummies. These are all of the reports that have been submitted just within the past couple of days. Because I'm under surveillance, if I post a link to these inappropriate assets, someone at Roblox will see it and take it down. We have different categories like users, games, groups, miscellaneous. I have an entire team of people going through them so we can hopefully bring them to the attention of Roblox's trust and safety team. We're doing a community service here. We're all just taking our valuable free time and dedicating it to making Roblox a cleaner and safer place. I just figured for educational purposes, I would go through, open some of these tickets, and let you guys know what kind of stuff my team and I have to deal with. This person's username is Wet Shart. Oh my fucking god, you guys have to see this avatar. Gorilla Grip. This reminds me of like a Weena thumbnail. This is like Nikocado Avocado's body. This looks like the front of a car. Latex dolls. What the fuck? Look at this. I'm looking in this group, and in the members list,
my coochie pink, my booty hole brown.
This
The reactions I saw from people who clicked on. Let's go back to 2010. Roblox was in a strange middle ground phase between their wacky, cartoonish, borderline Lego clone physics game era of the late 2000s and the early 2010s, where they started to take themselves more seriously and the community started to grow exponentially. The front page was dominated by social hangout games like Apartment Life, Iron Cafe, and Robloxaville, and a developer named OneDev2 began taking notes. He created a game named Welcome to the Town of Robloxia in early 2010 that many early players likely remember. As Roblox Roblox grew even further in 2011 and 2012, partly due to increased promotion and newfound accessibility, the game quickly became one of the biggest games on the platform for the time, though this wasn't without issues. At the time, Roblox had a huge place stealing problem. Take infamous examples like Jared Valdez and Julius Coles, developers who were caught multiple times in the early 2010s, reposting games stolen with exploits and getting them on the front page, though there were many more culprits. Welcome to the Town of Robloxia was a huge target for place stealers at the time. Back in the day, it was relatively common for Roblox staff to steal front page games and use them for private testing purposes. Here, David Bazuki uploaded Welcome to the Town of Robloxia to a place slot that was already on copy locked, mistakenly letting thousands of players get a stolen copy of the game. In fact, it's still there today in a place slot from 2006, though it's no longer on copy locked. The same thing happened to Fear, a horror game OneDev2 made in 2010, though to a much lesser extent. When a huge security oversight let a group of players breach the Roblox admin panel on April 1st, 2012, OneDev2's account was compromised, and tons of Robux and limiteds were stockpiled onto the account. Amidst the chaos of the day, one of the hijackers used stolen Robux to buy an eerie pumpkin head on OneDev2's account, one of the most sought after limited hats of all time. That action got OneDev2's account entirely banned, and it hasn't been touched since. Here's where the topic of the chapter comes into play. In November 2011, just months before his account was hacked, OneDev2 released a game called Crash. The premise was simple: spawn vehicles and watch them explode into tons of pieces as you ride them off cliffs, out of the windows of parking garages, and into towers rigged with dynamite. The game was reminiscent of a simpler time in Roblox's history, because at one point, extremely straightforward games like this were commonplace on the front page. In February 2012, the game was made private, and all that's left of it now is a collection of exceptionally obscure, low-quality recordings taken with Roblox's built-in screen recorder. Some of these quite literally had 0 views when I found them, despite being over 12 years old. 5 months after OneDev2 was banned from Roblox, he uploaded a montage of recordings he took while playing Crash to YouTube. The description says, "This was one of my games called Crash. It was so fun, but it's gone," implying that he no longer had the game saved on his computer and couldn't re-upload it to his new account, meaning he couldn't do anything about the game being locked away on his old deleted account, so that's one option down. Unfortunately, there's a minuscule chance that this game was stolen while it was open, as strange as me saying that may sound, because if a stolen copy resurfaced nowadays, it would be the only way to play this game at all. Not only did Crash only have 2,000 visits, despite OneDev2 creating a game that was once literally the most played Roblox game ever, but it was originally restricted to those who had Builders Club memberships, because yes, that was a feature back in 2011. As a result, most people didn't get to play it when it was first released, and there was only so much time between OneDev2 opening it up to all players and OneDev2 closing it. To put this in modern Roblox terms, imagine if the creator of Brookhaven had a place open for 6 months, it only got 4 visits, and was closed, never to be seen again. That's basically what happened here. Crash is just one of many examples of an obscure Roblox game that has seemingly vanished from the platform, with no one to re-upload copies and every option for trying to find the game completely exhausted. And every option for trying to find the game completely exhausted. This next chapter's story starts with Call of Robloxia, a Roblox recreation of the Zombies mode in Call of Duty World at War, released in early 2011 by Logitech 101, a Roblox developer you may know nowadays for games like Project Lazarus. While broken and closed now, this game was huge at the time. A year later, Logitech 101 was involved in a collaborative FPS project with developer Spooky Fox, called Authority, originally Call of Robloxia Authority. Authority was a team FPS game released on June 16th, 2012, though it had been in the works for up to a few weeks prior. The game itself was a round-based FPS game between 2 teams, Enforcement and Criminals. The game mostly focused on team deathmatch, though other game modes like Demolition were added in the later stages of its development. Authority was a pretty well-made game for its time, and it was rather popular from 2012 to 2014, receiving over 1.7 million visits in that time frame. It peaked in popularity around late 2012 and early 2013, though some stuff had supposedly broken due to Roblox updates at the start of 2014. Authority stopped receiving consistent updates in early 2014, and rather quickly its active player base dwindled. From October 2018 to early 2019, unknown individuals made multiple attempts to hack into and compromise Spooky Fox's account, and the account was eventually banned and deleted in the summer of 2019. Authority is a very interesting piece of Roblox lost media, because the game is still public and technically is still playable. The thing is, a round will never start. Initially, Authority was broken by the filtering enabled updates in 2018 2013 that broke a large percentage of old games that had scripts running locally off players' computers instead of the server. This update was meant to prevent exploiters, but it kinda backfired. However, even if Authority was played inside an earlier version of Roblox that wasn't affected by these updates, the game would still be broken, because all of the assets themselves, such as guns and maps, are now lost to time. Instead of storing guns, maps, and other assets inside the game itself, they were all stored as off-sale models on the now terminated Spooky Fox Roblox account, and grabbed by the game via insert service. Insert service requests would only work with off-sale models if the requests were coming from a game owned by the owner of said model. But because these models are off sale on a now terminated account, they're essentially gone for good. When I asked Logitech 101 about the matter, he said he only had the base RBXL, which wouldn't be very helpful here considering it has none of the guns or maps. Out of all of the Authority related assets that were held on Spooky Fox's account, only one map, Hempton Evacuation by George256, added in May 2013, was accidentally left on sale, and as a result, this is the only available asset from the game. This story doesn't have that bad of an ending though, because this year, one of the developers at Rolf published a game called Enforcement, which is currently in beta testing and was heavily inspired by the original Authority from 2012. It's a fast-paced, team-based FPS game with a very similar premise, though with more game modes and unique maps. The original version of Authority, for the most part, is still considered lost media. As I've said before in videos, Roblox didn't have any multiplayer servers for games made by normal users until September 2006. In the summer of 2006, the only Roblox games with multiplayer servers were games made by the admins, like Crossroads, Haunted Mansion, and certain test places. From late 2006 to May 2007, the Roblox games page was split into two sections, games made by the staff and games made by ordinary Roblox users. To see previews of what the Roblox website looked like in 2006, I'm using a service called the Wayback Machine, which displays snapshots of websites from different periods of time. For years, the user games section on 2006 archives of the games page was thought to have been completely inaccessible information. Because it wasn't its own page, clicking the user games button would trigger a JavaScript command that showed the user games on the page, though this doesn't work on the archive. However, it was recently discovered that because Roblox's website was built on Microsoft's ASP.NET website framework, the data that tells us what the most popular user-made games were at the time of the archive can be viewed through what's called a view state. The view state is a usually encrypted string inside the source code of pages built on ASP.NET that contains even more data that isn't visible to the user. When decoded, it can tell us what user-made games were being played at the time of the archive. On the 9th of December 2006, two brick battle style fighting games made by Flamestorm 22 and Tadat 22 were being played by small groups of people. They were named Brick Battle Holy Grounds and Brick Battle Afterlife respectively. These games are both lost to time, though because of their extremely cryptic names, they're pretty intriguing to me, despite knowing that they're likely extremely bare-bones fighting maps made out of the digital equivalent of Play-Doh and construction paper. On February 17th, 2007, former creative director Shedletsky had a game open called The Artifact. No idea what this is. 2 weeks later, Shedletsky had another now-lost game on his alt account, Son of Seven list, called Catapult Assault. Again, no idea what this game is, and we don't even have screenshots or thumbnails to show us what these games looked like. Because these games were all replaced by new games shortly after their creation, and because the version history feature on the website to see earlier versions of games didn't exist yet, these games are likely lost for good. Before I round off this video, I want to take some time to talk about the pieces of Roblox lost media that, while interesting, I wasn't able to dedicate a whole chapter to. In 2008, Minish was known for being a talented developer who made builds that were intricate and detailed for the time, such as Kranos, Aldaker, and Shrine of the Fallen Hero. But for a brief period in late 2008 and early 2009, she made tons of one-off clickbait games to get Robux fast. This idea must have worked really well considering the pizza topping one received over 11,500 visits in the first 2 days, which was impressive for the time. These games only lasted on her profile for about a week, and all that remains of any of them is a small array of screenshots that were used as thumbnails. Considering Minish left the Roblox community entirely after she was IP banned in 2009, these games are likely gone for good. On the 25th of April 2007, Shedletsky temporarily opened a game called Roblox Photo Ops on his account, and held a small photo shoot for a promotional post on an online forum called devmaster.net. This was the resulting photo, and the Photo Ops game was closed just hours later. The game itself is a modified version of Grey City, another game that Shedletsky made and uploaded to an alt account in 2006, modified to contain billboards, detailed trees, different weapons, and a different color scheme. This version of Grey City is lost to time. In a previous video I made called the Roblox Lost Media Rabbit Hole, I talked about a variety of lost games, and in the 6 months that have passed since I posted that video, we've been able to recover a large chunk of the games that I talked about in that video. Last July, I got in contact with Stickmaster Luke, a developer you're most likely familiar with because of Natural Disaster Survival, and he republicized a large chunk of his lost games from 2008 to 2010, including but not limited to Stickmaster Luke's Obstacle Course, a troll obby that's so much more painful than it looks, Covert Ops Shade of Night Sniper Fight, a free-for-all shooter where players fight to death in a dark forest with snipers. This one lasted less than 3 months before being replaced by a different game. Instagib Fight in the Fog, another FPS game similar to Covert Ops where players fight in a foggy forest with laser paintball guns that insta-kill your opponents. This one was available on and off until 2014 before it was closed and later broken by Roblox updates. And to round off the most important Stickmaster Luke related finds, we now have a copy of Combat Initiative, a collaborative FPS game he made with the now banned Roblox developer Pyro in 2009, which was rather advanced for the time considering most of the games on the front page during this era were games like Slide Down 9999 Miles for free admin. On top of the newly found Stickmaster Luke games, I was able to recover several deleted Roblox videos that were uploaded to YouTube in early to mid 2007 by the users Nintendo250 and Fleskjerta. While he wasn't the first to upload Roblox videos by any means, Nintendo250 was one of the first YouTubers to consistently upload Roblox focused content for multiple years at a time, being a pretty active Roblox YouTuber from February 2007 all the way to August 2009. Sadly, a lot of his early content is lost media, because of his original channel being terminated for copyright infringement in June 2009. One of his videos that I was able to recover within the last few months was called Cookie Tribute, originally uploaded to YouTube on the 22nd of June 2007. This one was preserved when the Wayback Machine took a snapshot of Nintendo250's channel 2 days later on the Italian version of YouTube. It shouldn't be understated how old this footage is too. According to a forum post Shedletsky wrote at the start of May 2007, there were only around 70 Roblox videos on the site's YouTube and Google video combined, and out of those 70, we only have about 23. So Cookie Tribute is likely one of the first 100 Roblox videos ever. The second most interesting video related find was Roblox Crazy Train, a Roblox music video uploaded by Fleskjerta in September 2007. The video was left private on his channel for years due to its copyrighted music, but thankfully Fleskjerta gave me a copy of the video to preserve elsewhere. The last Roblox related find I'd like to talk about is Moon Exploration, a previously lost game made by Clockwork in August 2007. In May, I discovered an uncredited copy of the place file from 2008. A user named Scream0013 reposted it under the name Moon in April 2008, but it was made private in October of that same year. Thankfully, the place file was left uncopylocked for anyone to take. The game itself is Clockwork's spin on a Shedletsky game from 2007 called Mission on the Moon, a classic space-themed exploration game with the gimmick of only allowing players to play if they were wearing the astronaut helmet hat. Here, the map is much smaller, but it includes a lot more detail. If any games I mentioned in this video are somehow found, posts about it will be made on my community tab and my Twitter account. As well, I started an extra channel for re-uploading lost, deleted videos I find, including the videos that I talked about earlier in this chapter. Thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, do things you do after you finished a video you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.
OMG! Gusto ko nito! Ang ganda naman! I want! Girl! May want ako bilhin sa Shopee!
Afford mo na with SPayLater. Enjoy 0% interest deals and exclusive vouchers.
I-activate ang SPayLater at mag-shop na!
Over the last few days, I've been working on a two-dimensional platformer game using a version of Roblox Studio from over 14 years ago. While developing it, the old version I'm using sets more limitations than there needs to be, forcing me to get creative with how I go about making things. As I work on it, I often think about creative, underrated passion projects on Roblox that either lost popularity for one reason or another, or never got the recognition they deserved in the first place. On the other end of the spectrum, for every Roblox game like Work at a Pizza Place that's been been iconic and regularly updated for the last 14 years. There are 10,000 games like jump down a hole and slide 99999 miles for free admin. Over the last 17 years, the landscape of Roblox has changed vastly, leaving many games that couldn't keep up in the dust. To celebrate both prequels to this video hitting 1 million views, we're exploring the depths of Roblox once again. When I say dead in this video, I mean less than 5 players online per day, and usually no players at all. As well, the release dates for the games I mention here are usually different from the creation date on the website, often because of old glitches with the website or the game being replaced by a different game at some point. Replacing games with different games was a common practice in the 2010s, usually because users could only have a limited number of places open at a time, depending on whether they had Builders Club or not. With most dead games, there's usually one of 4 reasons that it died out, often with a bit more story to it. 1, the gameplay was repetitive with no replayability to it. 2, the game stopped receiving updates or the developer got banned. 3, the game broke entirely and the developer stopped supporting it after that, or the original version got taken down. Number 4, better games took its place and the expectations for that genre changed. And the secret 5th option for when the developer gets into controversy. For the first section of this video, I want to talk about PvP games and fighting games, which is a pretty loose umbrella term. Fighting games are the oldest genre of multiplayer Roblox games and have changed a lot over time. This section will focus on the more advanced round-based PvP games with different modes and maps. We'll get to the older brick battle stuff later. Throughout 2013, Daxter33's Paintball, released 2 years prior, was constantly in the top 3 most played games on Roblox of all time. It's a team-based paintball game with a plethora of different modes: elimination, King of the Hill, base defense, controller, and more. The game is definitely janky, which is expected from a Roblox game from 12 years ago, but it's fun. My only real complaint about the game is the weird force zoomed in FOV when using guns. In 2018, however, Roblox made their infamous filtering enabled update, breaking any games with scripts that run off the player's computer instead of the server. It was initially done to prevent exploits, but instead broke many old games that hadn't been updated in a while. The filtering enabled update breaking games will be a common theme throughout this video. The developer BMCQQQQ published a well-made remake of the game in 2019 that recreates the original pretty well, which is what is seen in the background footage. For a short time in 2014 to 2017, murder mystery games were all the rage on Roblox. The 3 I remember the most are Murder Mystery 1 and 2 by Nicholas, The Mad Murderer by Lullerus, and of course, Twisted Murderer by Taymaster. It's not too unique, there are murderers, sheriffs, and innocent bystanders. As well, I remember this game constantly being compared to The Mad Murderer. It also doesn't help that when Lullerus made Mad Paintball, Taymaster made Twisted Paintball. When Twisted Murder originally came out, its main appeal was its special game modes such as Juggernaut or Sheriff Showdown. This game was huge in early 2015, but as far as I know, it stopped being updated entirely around 2017 and has had little to no player base ever since. It's so strange to see a game with almost 100 million visits and no players online. To be fair, Taymaster has a lot more games to focus on anyway, which is likely the main reason for the lack of updates. I didn't mention this in the original voiceover, but it's a 50-50 chance the game works. Randomly, the game will break entirely, with players spawning out of bounds. Suddenly, the active player count will spike from 0 to 10, and the game can actually go on as well. In 2015, OzzyPig, an already well-known Roblox developer, released a game called Fisticuffs, about beating people up on a stage, literal fisticuffs. At the time it came out, I remember the game being a huge deal. Nowadays though, it has no active players, despite at least being a functioning game still. It has 12 million visits as of 2023. And quick side note, if you're wondering how I'm playing these dead games with servers full of people to replicate the original experience, it's because these are members of my Discord. Join, get the game revival roll, and maybe you can be one of these lucky people. Going back 7 years, in April 2008, a developer named Connix teamed up with the former Roblox employee Clockwork to create Kiseki CTF. Kiseki was a team-based capture the flag game with all sorts of custom weapons, classes, and more. At the time of its creation, it was seen as one of the greatest games on Roblox, and it was highly influential. Because Clockwork of all people had a hand in making the game, custom audio and meshes were used in the games, which from about mid-2008 to 2013, normal users were not allowed to do. Since Clockwork uploaded these assets to Roblox for anyone to use, tons of popular free model weapons from the early 2010s used them. The actual Kiseki game is broken nowadays, however. The developers manually switched the entire game between set maps made by fans of the game, instead of having a map selection system in the game, meaning the game has has been stuck on the map Mush Moon since 2010. Script Tester 123's War CTF was an old team-based capture the flag game with a military theme that was super popular in 2008 and 2009. It started losing popularity around 2011-ish, and eventually it stopped receiving updates altogether, leading to the game breaking and being generally forgotten by the community, despite being one of the most popular Roblox fighting games ever at one point. Kinetic Code is an interesting example of a dead Roblox game because it's not technically finished. Kinetic Code is an FPS game by Scripton that started development in 2016. When it was created, it made waves across the Roblox community for how polished its graphics were, despite running on the Roblox engine. After that, development moved slowly for a while until it reached the alpha stage in 2020, sparking a newfound interest in the game. It has 7 million visits now, though it seems to not have been updated in a year. It does look promising, to be honest, so I'm curious to see where it goes. An interesting fighting place I'd like to highlight is Pandemonium, created by Ice128 in May 2008, which was shown in the Explore Roblox trailer by Shedletsky in 2009. Players fight in a wide variety of strange arenas while crazy events happen. According to a newly found forum post from a now defunct unofficial Roblox forum that Clockwork owned called Roblox HQ, Pandemonium had 4 arenas that players would sword fight in a sort of round-based minigame type fashion. The orange arena, where players would use a sweep tool to spleef other players. Random events would happen here with sounds indicating their arrival. The blue arena, where players had to hide behind cubes to avoid auto turrets. The arena would even shift and flip over at times. The yellow arena, described as confusing, that sucks players towards the center. And finally, the green arena, with a moving floor and bars that kill players. Sound cues will indicate the arena changing direction or bars moving. Looking at archives of the old Roblox forums, we can see that this game was a fan favorite, often called a hidden gem on Roblox. Sadly, the game stopped being updated in 2009 and was closed entirely in August 2013. All that's really left of it are the few seconds of Shedletsky playing it in that trailer, one screenshot, and people asking on the Roblox forums if anyone wanted to play it. This one is truly dead. Especially during the early 2010s and late 2000s, town and city games on Roblox were everywhere. None of them were too unique from each other and usually served the exact same purpose, but in a different style. Floppa98's Greenwood Town, with over 42 million visits, was one of the top town and city games on the site. In it, you could either be a cop or a criminal, stopping crime or causing it. Even though it has the same occupations and role-playing aspects as similar games, Greenwood Town heavily focuses on the PvP aspect. The developer started to focus on other projects in the late 2010s instead of maintaining the game, and it eventually lost popularity. Just a year earlier, in 2010, OneDev2 published a game called Welcome to the Town of Robloxia, a town and city roleplay game that was the most popular game on Roblox for a little while. Along with that game, OneDev2 worked with the developer PlayRobot to publish a similar title called Welcome to the City of Robloxia, City of Robloxia being the much less popular of the two games. It had a lot of the same features and a completely different map. Unlike Welcome to the Town of Robloxia, it focused more on living in an apartment and socializing with others than getting money from various occupations. The game was active for a short time after OneDev2's account was banned in 2012, before it was put under review at a random point around 2017, making it unplayable. Another long-lasting town and city roleplay game that was huge on Roblox during the late 2000s was Robloxaville, created by PlayRobot sometime in late 2008. It was one of the most popular Roblox games for a couple years and was way more complex than the majority of its competitors. You get a job, make enough money to buy a house, and then customize it, and then make sure you don't get sick and die. The game's main flaw was its poor optimization. I cannot even fathom how horrible it must have been trying to play this on the computers of the time. As well, this was the first game to use the Morph Magic GUI that was used in tons of roleplay games in the 2010s. That model was created by PlayRobot, the developer of Robloxaville, in late 2010. You can be a turkey. Robloxaville decreased in popularity over the mid-2010s until it was eventually broken by updates. Now it attempts to teleport you to a place that just doesn't exist. Kingdom Life 2 is a roleplay game with an interesting history that barely falls under town and city roleplay games, but whatever. Originally released by Bootbot in 2011, a year and a half after its predecessor, Kingdom Life 2 is a medieval roleplay game with optional PvP elements. This was a hugely popular game back in 2012 with over 18 million visits as of 2023, though this might not be the Kingdom Life 2 you're thinking of. In late 2012, Dev Bucket, formerly known as the LOL Guy 301, re-uploaded a stolen copy of Bootbot's Kingdom Life life game under the exact same name. This version has over 60 million visits, which is funny because even though it was updated regularly for over 10 years, it has no credit to Bootbot, with Bootbot even stating that Dev re-uploaded a stolen copy of Kingdom Life 2 without permission. Around a year ago now, Dev was banned from Roblox for off-platform controversies, and his version hasn't been updated since. Both versions are dead now because of a lack of updates. In March of 2010, the Roblox staff put out a series of skateboard gears, initially tied to a Disney XD sponsored Zeke and Luther event. This inspired and encouraged a trend of skate park games, which were popular for the next few years. By far the most popular skate park places were Adio and Goliath, both released by Inkbleed in early 2011, garnering millions of plays in the coming months. Sadly, the original skateboard gear is broken and has been for years, and ever since these parks have been completely empty. In each of the Exploring Dead Roblox games videos so far, I've had sections dedicated to the lesser known projects of well-known developers with an extensive back catalog of Roblox games. The first one I want to talk about is former Roblox developer Zeekers, who has a large back catalog of unique single-player games. He's now known as the creator of games like It Steals and Lethal Company.
What the f***? Please don't do this. Please. What? What the f***? Bye. Some what? What?
In April of 2014, Zeker started work on the game A Lucid Dream, an experimental single-player 2D title. It's a rather short, surreal platformer set in a dream. I remember this game being quite popular on Roblox at the time, and it was even nominated for Best Single-Player Game and Best Art Direction in the 2015 Bloxy Awards. At the time, Zeekers was only 11 or 12 years old, and his early projects show that he's always had potential to make great games. A lot of his earlier projects, even his attempts at horror games, were incredibly unique, often having a dreamlike quality to them. Doodle, created in December of that year, is a great example of the so-called dreamlike qualities found in Zeeker's early projects. Doodle was an experimental 2D exploration title, designed using hand-drawn artwork submitted by different users from the Roblox community. The game's major flaw, at least to me, is that the large amount of textures can load slowly on bad connections, especially at the time it was created. Breach was Zeeker's first attempt at a horror game, created in February 2014. It initially started as an experiment inspired by SCP.
Everybody told me that I sound like CG5. Probably because I am CG5! I am CG5! So shut up! Everybody told me that I sound like CG5. Probably because I am CG5! I am CG5! So shut up! Everybody told me that I sound like CG5. Probably because I am CG5! I am CG5! So shut up! Everybody told me that I sound like CG5. Probably because I am CG5! I am CG5! So shut up! Everybody told me that I sound like CG5. Probably because I am CG5! I am CG5! So shut up! Everybody told me that I sound like CG5. Probably because I am CG5! I am CG5! So shut up!
Taki, soulful AI girlfriend.
Hey, a few days ago, there was a small controversy in the Discord server of the Gacha Nebula mod. It's not something very serious, but a moderator named Lee gave an opinion that some people didn't like. I'm going to be leaving the screenshots here for you to read, but in summary, he says that Looney is a bad developer, and he has a bit of a point. Looney leaves his projects unfinished, promises things that he never fulfills, and every time he returns to the community, he steals the spotlight from the mods. We have a lot to thank Looney for, but in recent years he has been doing things poorly, and the gacha community has remained alive thanks to all the content creators and everyone who has made or is making a gacha club mod. I strongly agree with what Lee said, and I'm saying all this to remind you that Looney is not a god, and when he does things wrong, it can be said. Bye. Hey, recently, I was looking at the Chibimation posts on Instagram, and they have a section called Asset Showcase. In that section, we can see OCs like these. They are 2 OCs created with the bases of the Chibimation game and with assets from it. It's interesting because we can see the variety of the color palette and the eye-catching style of the eyes. Something I want to highlight are the sandals of the girl in green. They are traditional Japanese sandals called geta, and the drawing looks very good. In the same post, we have 2 other OCs, and I like them, but the girl's OC stands out much more. She has a cute face, I really like her clothes and hair, and her eyes are amazing. The other one isn't bad, but he probably has dirty feet.
We gotta change the time as well. Don't forget. It's gonna be 0. I know I have the highlight here and everything, but like imagine you're just kind of walking. Dude.
10 years ago, in 2014, a series of sudden controversial changes to Minecraft server rules by Mojang would result in the biggest backlash the game had ever received at the time.
Your favorite server is going to cease to exist, and you won't be able to play on it anymore because we won't be able to afford to pay our bills.
Creating the hashtag #SaveMinecraft movement, leading to the biggest Minecraft community project ever being shut down, with Mojang themselves being DMCA'd, and ultimately resulting in Notch selling the game to Microsoft due to the outrage he was receiving.
I just figured, like, I don't know if I want to put up with this anymore.
These changes resulted in some of Minecraft's biggest and most famous servers being forced to shut down.
MCPVP ran out of money to fund itself,
with others entirely abandoned and left to slowly decline because of it. The ramifications of that fateful day are still felt now, with Minecraft servers having less than half the players they did 10 years ago.
What about people like me, Mojang, who donated $1,200?
How did everything go so incredibly wrong? How did Minecraft multiplayer almost die? To explain, we'll have to first go back to 2013, the year prior to the drama. In 2013, Minecraft was at its all-time peak in popularity, significantly bolstered by the burgeoning Minecraft multiplayer scene. Thousands upon thousands of servers with unique game modes and minigames had taken over the Minecraft community, some servers getting thousands, if not tens of thousands of players daily, forever cementing their names in Minecraft history. In fact, just to illustrate how popular Minecraft servers were, one of the owners of Mineplex, the biggest server at the time, mentioned that roughly 25% of all existing Minecraft PC accounts had joined Mineplex at least once that year. That's tens of millions of people. These monolithic servers didn't just come from nowhere. Beginning in 2010 with the release of the first Minecraft survival server software, ever since the Minecraft multiplayer community had been rapidly growing. The community, without the help or direction of Mojang whatsoever, had developed their own server software, thousands upon thousands of plugins allowing for server-side game modifications, letting server owners create unique game modes on their servers, a variety of independent Minecraft server hosting services, Minecraft server listing websites with the ability for paid promotion, amongst so much more. Basically, the entire Minecraft multiplayer ecosystem that a very significant number of the game's player base regularly played in was entirely founded, developed, and maintained by
In 2021, I watched a video by Austin McConnell all about useless information. Since then, I've seen countless other creators online make videos of the same nature about their favorite pieces of media, and I even played a part in this trend making 3 videos filled with useless information about Roblox's history. 482 days-ish later, I'm here again to give more useless information about Roblox. Just remember that all of the facts in this video are almost guaranteed to be completely useless. In mid-2003, a project named eBlocks was listed on David Baszucki's website. It's most likely that this was an early codename for Roblox while it was in its earliest stages of development. In May of 2007, Roblox was featured in an article by The Escapist magazine in a section about online LEGO games comparing Roblox to Blockland. The desire for online LEGO has produced a couple of low-end, somewhat dorky precursors: Blockland, that game where you build stuff, now mostly dormant, and Roblox, which emphasizes multiplayer games based on deathmatch and other shooter models. The Roblox coders are working hard.
Did you know I play piano? Yes, indeed, I have been playing piano
Hey Alexa, open camera. Alexa.
Who she thinks she talking to? Cause I know it ain't me. That ain't my name. That's the wrong AI, hun.
Alexa.
Hey, don't hit me, fool. It's not my fault you don't know my name.
This darn phone isn't working.
Bruh.
Wait, what? Gray in window at gray moment? From a chill guy to a Sigma.
You make me cry and you make me feel bad for the sprung keys because I always play freaky keys. I'm crying right now.
Do you actually see Danny and Poppy on 2 Life? How's that possible? I thought Dandy and Poppy is not real. How do you see Dandy and Poppy in real life? Is Dandy and Poppy true or real life?
That was one and they started making Dandy's world.
Dandy sees so sexy, slay.
My fucking Sally, this video again. Dandy's not nothing. Dandy's character too is kind of on style. So you better not put my Shelly into that video. She does not like shrimp boat and shrimp with the worst character that should ever be.
Wait, what? Gray in window at gray moment? From a chill guy to a Sigma.
You make me cry and you make me feel bad for the sprung keys because I always play freaky keys. I'm crying right now.
Do you actually see Danny and Poppy on 2 Life? How's that possible? I thought Dandy and Poppy is not real. How do you see Dandy and Poppy in real life? Is Dandy and Poppy true or real life?
That was one and they started making Dandy's world.
Dandy sees so sexy, slay.
My fucking Sally, this video again. Dandy's not nothing. Dandy's character too is kind of on style. So you better not put my Shelly into that video. She does not like shrimp boat and shrimp with the worst character that should ever be.
Wait, what? Gray in window at gray moment? From a chill guy to a Sigma.
You make me cry and you make me feel bad for the sprung keys because I always play freaky keys. I'm crying right now.
Do you actually see Danny and Poppy on 2 Life? How's that possible? I thought Dandy and Poppy is not real. How do you see Dandy and Poppy in real life? Is Dandy and Poppy true or real life?
That was one and they started making Dandy's world.
Dandy sees so sexy, slay.
I'm sure a lot of people remember